And here we go. In the top right of Alcyon, it's Gumiho. And in the bottom left, we have MaxPax. All right. Well, I'm glad that we're off of PVZ for a little bit here. As far as TVP goes, I think it's quite a nice matchup right now. Kind of excited to see what Gumi's take will be tonight. Gumi definitely has his own style in this matchup as well. So yeah, someone saying that MaxPax already won the EU Cup over Clem. Pretty common occurrence. Clem and MaxPax play a lot of these cups. Oftentimes, Clem is playing here as well in the NA Cup, but it looks like he skipped out tonight, which is, I guess, such is life. It's nice harassment here from MaxPax, really maximizing his damage. Now, keeping the probe in here, so obviously he's not going to be able to get out of there. Reaper will come over to finish this off. At least he sees... Oh, the recall. Nice. Really knows that timing, right? Reaper normally pops at 202, so if you just recall just after that, you did delay it a couple seconds coming across the map as well. So nicely done there from MaxPax. Now, Stargate coming up. And, all right, already a Cyclone on the way. Reactor as well. Command center on that low ground. Shield battery here, since he doesn't really know 100% what's going on. And the starport. All right. I do like Gumiho's style. Definitely one of my favorite Terrans for many, many, many years at this point. What was his first season? GSL Season 2, I want to say. Was Gumiho's first, back when he was a random player. Crazy that him and Maru are still around and still top of the world. Wild shit. All right, Phoenix is on the way here for MaxPax. MaxPax really good at Phoenix Colossus. Very good comp for him. We'll see if Gumiho lines up an early attack here. He's making a siege tank. He already has a Cyclone. He's making Marines out of a reactor. Here comes Medevac. Well, at least now he knows what he's against. Sees that it is Phoenix's. And it's not going to be a big surprise. You know, everyone kind of knows how MaxPax plays at this point, since he's up at the top of pretty much every tournament he enters. Gonna try to get out of there. Robo on the way. It seems like he is kind of sweeping the map a little bit, trying to get up here and see what's what with his Phoenixes. Gonna harass lightly. You know, using up energy that could have been utilized elsewhere. I don't think it's gonna hurt him in the long run. I think that's a good pickup, but you do have to sometimes be careful. Occasionally, Phoenix players will lose because they don't have the energy for the pickups they need. That is for sure. And, like, for instance, you'd really like to pick up here. Almost had it on that second Phoenix. Cyclone gets a little catch. Bit of damage. Just a tiny bit of hull damage there. Yeah, some more harassment going down. Saves some lifts. It looks like he has a couple lifts he could have used there. Fourth Phoenix coming up. All of them getting a little bit bruised. insta-snipe on this pro, but he does get that shield battery started. Kind of important. Now, here comes Gumi's push. Good repair. Really quality. We're just going to snipe that Viking as well. Really good usage of these Phoenixes. But here's the thing. Can he hold on to this third Nexus he just started? I don't know that he can. This army just looks way too strong for him. Some decent micro there, but has to cancel everything out. Pulls back to his shield battery. Saves everything for now. Phoenixes stopping reinforcements a little bit. Oh, takes a lot of damage on that one. Overcharge to keep that Phoenix up. But he used the overcharge here earlier than I think he actually wanted to. Just that Phoenix had a bad rally. Yeah, that's okay. Still catching everything that's coming across. Not a very big army here for MaxPax. Right now, Gumiho even using his grenades. Really well executed attack here from Gumi. Colossus is out, and here we go. Picks up with the Phoenixes. Gets on top of those siege tanks as the Immortal comes up. Even if they drop, they're going to die so quickly. So it looks like this will be held. How many units are actually going to get away? Not entirely sure. Sets up the siege to stop following. All right, very decent control there on both sides. Similar as far as worker count goes. The third base going to be quite a bit quicker here for Gumi, is making it at his natural. A little bit of Phoenix harassment going on as MaxPax takes a bit of map control. The Observer does get sniped there. Good snipe. Forge and Twilight on the way. Worker count very, very similar. So Gumiho's got to be happy about this position. And look at the amount of tanks he has, right? Don't forget, he already had a couple tanks earlier. Oh, one of those is a tank that he had saved. But he's consistently making tanks, right? This is a kind of a rare thing to see. And I'm really excited to see it. It's like Viking tank Marine, not something that normally comes out of this matchup. But like Gumiho, again, always has like his own way that he wants to play this. And when you combine siege tanks with Vikings, like Colossi are not going to last at all. And siege tanks can be very good in large numbers against Protoss. You guys might recall a time period where TY was basically the best Terran in the world, and man, he was doing a lot of late game mass siege tank type of plays against Protoss, and it really felt like it was very, very good. Now here we go. The Phoenixes come in and get sick lifts. Well, it's not going to work this time for Gumi, that's for sure. Holy shit. I guess his Vikings end up cleaning in the air. Hold on, he lands? And actually does, okay, leaves 2 in the air to keep the Colossi back. That's kind of an interesting choice. Lifts the rest and gonna chase a bit, perhaps? No, the Stalker count a little bit too high. What a weird engage. At first, I thought it was Gumi's favor, and then I thought MaxPax was gonna rout him. And then the Vikings are like, nah, we're still here, and they land and actually do force it back despite an Immortal being in that army. Wild engagement. Wild engagement. Very fresh. Loving it. All right, going to be sieging up here a little bit. Lands those Vikings as well. Trying to draw those stalkers into siege tank fire. Getting some really decent damage, man. Colossi attacking landed Vikings is hilarious. Now, I think MaxPax with charge can just clear this pretty easily. Yeah, does seem that way. Look at that, though. Blocks right up there. He's doing the absolute best you could ever do here, Gumiho is. Truly. The Vikings, this is how Dustin Browder actually wanted Vikings to work, by the way. He wanted them, it's like, yeah, you're anti-air, but now we land for harassment. And Gumiho's like the first guy that can do it, and it takes 15 years after the game comes out to be able to do it as well. Kind of insane, but I love what we've seen from the Vikings here from Gumiho. This is actually a very, very, very cool game. Look at the worker count, okay? It's 3 bases against MaxPax with a brand new 4th. 78 against 70 workers with Gumiho in the lead there, making his own 4th CC. Heavy siege tank production pretty much throughout. I think he's done now, though. Very, very, very cool game. So 2-1 on the way. Kind of interesting that he's getting a secondary. Oh, he lost it. Okay, thank you, Mapu. Kind of getting to what I was thinking about there. So I didn't realize, but yeah, he had lost his support bay. So I was going to say, why is support bay in Temple Archives? What is going on here? He already has Colossi. Like, what is... But yeah, it seems like he did end up losing that. So just rebuilding, getting that Temple Archives up as well. A little bit of harassment coming in here from MaxPax. Yeah, pretty decent there. Now, this frontal part of the attack, definitely not doing well. You just wanted to poke there and then run away. The Zealots are doing reasonably. 16 SCVs down. Maybe one more. Yeah, MaxPax, you know, making some Archons here. It looks like he's about to have a little bit of a power spike in his army with 2-1 plus Archons finishing up. So I don't know that Gumi's push 100% will win. You'd look at the supplies and say, yeah, I definitely think so. But, you know, if MaxPax is up 2 upgrades and he has these Archons in the front, that's pretty decent, right? Like, it really does give a good power spike. Now, he does get up on top of everything. It seems like Gumi might have just barely too much. A couple more charge lots come up. Okay, gets rid of that Immortal very importantly. Yeah, those concussive shells are doing just serious, serious work here on Gumi. The overcharge will end up holding this for now, but the siege tank shelling these probes on the mineral patches. All right, MaxPax trying to pull together a defense. More charge lots coming from that other side. Puts those stalkers up there for a bit more damage. Yeah, this is not going his way. Gumi really looking poised to take this game. Few more charge lots in that main base. Trying to make something happen. Gold base going to be falling here for MaxPax. Right? Oh my god. Yeah, okay. I was going to say, that would be insane if he saved that. Seriously. All right, Archon's coming out to try to help save the day. Both sides still very heavy on workers. Gumi now with that 4th base up and mining, looking really, really strong this game. All right, Gumiho coming down towards that gold base once again. Maybe this is going to be his, what he's looking to really do here is slow this down. Now, a lot of Archons mixed in right now. Archons, of course, not affected by concussive shells. And Cal, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. All right, so looks like 3-3 going to be on the way here for MaxPax, which is really fantastic. I felt like Gumiho was maybe on the brink of breaking him, right? Like MaxPax was literally just barely holding on with the units that he was warping at the moment, but it seems like he's actually starting to build a good comp now, right? Lots more Archons in the army, has these Colossi, his upgrades are getting really fantastic. Oh my god, he didn't have Blink this whole time. I actually didn't even notice. Really interesting game at this point. So, like, this is turning into, like, a more normal game in a lot of ways. MaxPax is going to be maxed on his upgrades, so is Gumi. They both have a lot of the map. It doesn't feel like someone has a big advantage right at this moment. They're both really, really high on workers, really, really high on army supply. They both have good comps. A lot of ghosts being added in right now. Looks like we are getting another Robo. Some disruptors going to be started. Always very good to add in that later game. Yeah, I don't think that's going to... Oh, maybe if he flanks. Yeah, it looks like the Zealots basically die before the rest of the army comes up, so maybe a bit of a mistake there. But Gumi, with the drop in this main base, or not the main base, but the natural base here of MaxPax, doing a really, really good job. Does kill off that disruptor tech once again. Has to be annoying for MaxPax. Needs to get that back up ASAP. Starting a couple Immortals. The Immortal's actually going to be really, really strong here. I actually kind of like those two Immortals. It's almost like fortuitous that he lost that because he would not have made those otherwise. But those will actually be really, really strong in this army. Adding that ridiculous good attack against armored with +3 attack, like holy crap, that's going to be a lot of damage output. All right, that +3 armor finishing up. Almost have the +3 now for Gumi. Just insane, insane upgrades on both sides. Bunch of command centers going down. Some will become planetaries. Some orbitals. Dark Shrine on the way. Dude, this is turning into a very cool big macro game. Seriously. Oh, nice split there from Gumi. Good EMPs going down as well. Try and get that damage out. MaxPax right now controlling a couple armies, right? He has this army pushing the side, which is actually not able to break through there. And then this other army going more towards like the third base, but I don't think he can get in there either. I love some of these placements of Siege Shanks you see from Gumi on both sides. We're just raining down that extra damage and making it really hard to come in. By the way, Liberators on the way, getting those air attacks as well. You definitely want the +2 so that you can two-shot those Stalkers. Super, super strong. Of course, Liberators did get a little nerf on their range, which they definitely did need. But now, no matter where you put them, if they're hitting probes, Stalkers can kill them off. So, like a very important change, I'd say. Talking about that a little bit earlier today. All right, double Disruptor Blast coming out. Okay, gets one hit. It was okay. Getting in on top of this planetary, but the planetary not warped in yet, so the flank here of Gumiho not quite strong enough. Gumiho losing a huge amount of army. Brings a flank down, but is that actually enough to do anything? Trying to buy time for this planetary to actually get up, but I think MaxPax may have done it here. Kind of crazy, man. GG. I really, really thought that Gumi was going to take that one. That looked like an excellent one from Gumi. One second, guys. We're going to start the second game in a second. All right. And we'll play the donos right after this game. So it's hard to warp in. The SC2 high ground advantage is if you don't see the units. If you don't have something that's spotting them, you can't shoot them. But there's no missed shots. So we'll be getting into game 2 just a second, guys. Oh, okay. And here we go. What type of music do I like? Terran 3. All right, let's go. Game number 2. Dude, why is this game not starting? The countdown went. Why is it not starting? There we go. All right. MaxPax in the top left of Oceanborn. And his opponent Gumiho in the bottom right. And MaxPax, of course, leads 1-0. Pretty strong comeback there. I really felt like Gumiho had outdone him a bit in the early game and the mid game. It felt like he was on the edge of maybe breaking MaxPax's back. But, yeah, he just held on. What can you do? MaxPax really hard to kill. Just an excellent, excellent Zerg player without a doubt. Now, Gumi with a proxy Rax. We'll see. He actually has a few different plays he does. He sometimes goes Marauders in the main base. I kid you not. Once upon a time, there was a Ghost Rush in the main base. It was so funny when Ghost started with Cloak. That was some wild shit. But I think that this is going to be Marauder Rush inside the main base, which is not super common. But as he gets up here, MaxPax will probably scout the side of his base, right? I would imagine. If you know Gumiho well, you know that he does that sometimes. MaxPax going to make his cybernetic score. Oh, he's not looking. He's not looking. Let's see if Gumi lifts. Yeah. The thing is, Gumi would already know where the pylon is going to go, so he tested this for sure. Oh, my God. So MaxPax should have seen that for just a quarter of a second there, but he might not have, right? Because other things are going on. He's microing his probe. You don't expect that you need to be looking at the minimap at that time. That's funny, because he could have sent it to the north slightly, then over, and it wouldn't have been seen at all. So there's maybe a little mistake there. And MaxPax actually goes up and sees it. So do you continue this? Do you continue? You do. Okay. All right. Zealot is out. Stalker on the way. Wow, going hard after this. That tech lab is going to go down, isn't it? He's not going to get it. Okay, so no concussive. He's just going to go after a few probes here. Did start a second Marauder before that went down. It doesn't seem like he's going to get much. He gets like one probe. Not a great opener here. Not a great opener. MaxPax with a pretty big lead. Don't forget, you can't even make a bunker with Marines in or anything. If MaxPax just sends stuff across the map, it might do reasonably well. You know, there is one Hellion and a Cyclone on the way. The Cyclone definitely can be microed really heavily. Maybe that can be enough. All right, here comes the little attack from MaxPax. It's going to be very micro-focused. You can see that Gumiho has brought an SCV out here because he knows he needs more than what he has. Or a couple SCVs, rather. Unfortunately, going to lose everything. This might actually turn out to be game. GG. All right, well held. Well held. What can you do? What can you say?